Luigi told me happily that his mother had issued me a family charity payment of 10,000 yuan per month. You can buy anything you like. Now your shopping cart can be cleared. My mom treats you better than my own son. I am so envious. While I was moved, I felt so nervous that I didn't dare to touch the money at all. Fear of bringing a bad impression on my future mother-in-law. But when I went to the park to look for inspiration that night, I accidentally bumped into Rum, and was promoting her wisdom and intelligence in a high-profile manner. I dare say that the little girl now has a good impression of me and doesn't dare to touch a penny. My son was also happy. He felt that I was so stupid to his girlfriend. He had no losses, but got everything. You should learn quickly, don't be stupid enough to buy things for red envelopes. Wouldn't it be better to save the money for yourself to spend? The most loyal and treacherous Rum in the crowd was blushing, dancing while talking, and spitting on the faces of the people around her. I have never met him before. I can recognize her because since she added me, she has posted photos of her big face every day in the circle of friends, hard shots on her face, real machine filters and beauty photos. I am the ultimate social fear. I usually rely on typing to survive. When I have no inspiration, I like to cover myself tightly and then go to the park to accumulate materials. Usually, when the ants who dance square dance are tired, they sit together and talk about their parents' shortcomings. I will listen carefully. But I never expected that this time I would eat the melon and eat it on myself. I pressed the brim of the hat, pulled the mask up, and then quietly leaned forward, keeping a close enough distance, but not abruptly. What if she really spends it? 10,000 a month is not a small amount. Lu's mother was very proud. I'm stupid. If the amount she spent more than 50, I'll untire it immediately. Family love is just right to take this evidence, which makes my son have a bad impression of her. This is to take the lead first, and first of all, he takes the initiative in the conflict between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. From now on, he would not be so good when he spoke to my son. Besides, I've inquired a lot. The little girl has a good family background and uses high-end products for wear. She won't touch my little money. What I expressed was just a thought, and what she received was also a thought, that's all. Lu Guixiang, is it too harmful for you to do this? A young girl who just graduated, can you be so careless? Some people in the crowd questioned. Lu's mother was not very happy, what do you know? The little girl is very smart. Some time ago, when I was on my birthday, she mailed me a bottle of perfume, and the label was deliberately hung on it, more than 8,000. Who believes it? So how expensive is a little thing? Besides, who doesn't know if you give someone a gift? You should take off the label and deliberately make a fake label to confuse me and please my son. I'm so old, can I be fooled? Then how did you do it? Did you give her the money? That wasn't there, but a few days later, Lu's mother sent me a gift, a gold bracelet. If it was a real thing, it would have to be worth 20,000 to 30,000 yuan. But, sure enough, Lu's mother's voice sounded, confirming my guess. I went to buy a gold-burning silver bracelet, which cost a total of 200 yuan, so she didn't dare to verify the authenticity. But the 200 I spent was real money. Her small bottle of perfume tasted a few dollars, and it was faint and could not be smelled without careful smelling it. You can't say this against your conscience. You like to spray your perfume every day, and the people you are with are stained with fragrance, and you are reluctant to give it to it, and now you say so. Wu Guixiang, why are you like this in life? Lu's mother was unhappy and cursed and started arguing with the other party. I got too much information for a while and my mind was a little swollen. The bottle of perfume was from Jacques Henry's house. My mother likes it very much. When I replenished the goods for my mother, I just heard that she was about to celebrate her birthday, so I bought an extra bottle and sent her to mail it. As for the price tag, I obviously removed it before, but I don't know why she still has it. Could it be that I messed up her and my mother's that caused such a misunderstanding? But I never thought that Lu's mother would think it was a fake. As for the bracelet with gold and silver, no wonder I felt itchy after wearing it for a few days, so I put it away from now on. But the simple family environment made me never want to maliciously speculate on others. In addition, Lu's mother has been generous and enthusiastic since she added my WeChat, so I only thought that my allergic reaction was because my skin was particularly dry when she changed seasons. Overthinking. Anger surged in my chest. The most rare thing in our career is emotional, because every time I have a true feeling, the things I write are always more touching. So I sat at the computer desk, thinking about the image of Lu's mother being smart when she was plotting for the accident, and typing. In the early morning, I successfully typed the last word and didn't even check it, so I sent it to the editor. But the anger in my chest still couldn't be dissipated. I thought about it, opened my shopping cart, got stuck in the 10,000 yuan quota, and made the best use of family affection. I spent 9,999 yuan, and then I went to bed with satisfaction. I slept until midnight before I found that my WeChat phone was about to be blown up, and it was all called by Rum. Starting from 3 in the morning, it takes almost an hour to call, but at 6 in the morning it becomes half an hour, and at 8 in the morning it becomes 10 minutes. Aunt Shanshan, there is no other meaning. I just want to ask you what problems you are facing. I see you paid 10,000 yuan last night. If you encounter any difficulties, you must tell your aunt, okay? We all have problems with the same person. We must face and solve the problems together. Don't hide and fight them yourself. Auntie has absolutely no other intentions, and it's not that she is afraid of you spending money, but mainly because she is worried about you, afraid that you will encounter problems, or being cheated. Really anxious. If you wake up, remember to reply to me. The stagnation in the chest. Finally, one of them was completely dispersed. I bent my lips playfully. He innocently joked about him with voice, no. Aunt. I'm pretty good. Thank you, Aunt, for your concern. There's a stuck there. I didn't seem to expect that I would reply him so naturally. And without mentioning the fact that he spent 10,000 in one night. He was struggling to describe how to speak. It can preserve the character. Can get the money back again. Instead, it has never been there. Just a dialogue box. It just shows entering. I sighed softly, touching the cat's back, muttering. It's really hard to break. What is his IQ? He is still a vicious and ignorant brain? How should I say this? I'll be worried about him. Right? The cat meowed and expressed his approval, licking my palms flatteringly. Lu Dai called over. He was straight to the point. Shanshan, my mother said, you used up all your family affection last night. She was worried that something might happen to you, so she asked me to ask you, shouldn't you be cheated? Didn't you be deceived? A story-making man was deceived by others, professional. Lost to the amateur. How embarrassing I am. It is not an exaggeration to say it is, in fact, it is a heavy bleeding. But my voice on the phone was as gentle as ever. No, I just took advantage of Double 11 shopping festival to clear my shopping cart. You just said I used family love payment? No, right? Let me see, my God. It's really. It must be because I was too sleepy when I was staying up late to grab things yesterday. I accidentally clicked the wrong one. Sorry, let my aunt ask me to do it. I'm worried, I'll give her the money back. I sighed with relief. It's true, what you spent is fine, but suddenly I saw you go out with a lot of money, which scared my mom. It's okay, you don't have to pay it back. She said she would spend it for you, just for you. He is willing to give it to you for 20,000 or 30,000 bracelets, so why would he feel sorry for this little money? But less than 10 minutes passed. Lu Dai called back again. This time he was dying and very unhappy. The avatar seemed to have been scolded. Shanshan, why don't you give the money back to my mother? She really wants to give it to you, but we are not married yet, so you are afraid that my mother has a bad impression of you, right? Anyway, you have a lot of things. The money is not short of 10,000 yuan, just treat it as a way to reduce my mother's favorability. Of course, this is just my personal opinion, definitely not my mother's intention. I finished telling him, and before I could even call my mother to report. My mother has always been generous to you and will not break the defense just because you collect the money, scold you, or even scold me. Don't worry. She inadvertently revealed everything, and her idea of breaking up with her suddenly faded a little. What if he is really simple? Lu Dai couldn't wait to send a WeChat message again. Shanshan, Lu Dai asked you to return the money to me, don't pay attention to him, what you gave is for you, how could Aunt take it back? Just be happy, Auntie, you don't feel sorry for spending more or less. It's just a text. But I seemed to feel his gritting hatred from the last sentence. I casually typed him. That's right, Auntie, I might have been too sleepy yesterday and I clicked the wrong one. Lu Dai said, you are full of your heart, I can't help but give you face. He asked me to accept it. I don't know if I'm angry or feeling heartbroken there. No news will be answered. Just keep forwarding the money-worshipping videos of video accounts on WeChat Moments. Education me. What kind of girls should be reserved? Can't worship gold. Should the red envelopes given by the elders be received, etc. It's almost flooding the screen. I deliberately sent him 2 hours later. Sorry, Auntie, I had something to do just now, so I went out for a while. I haven't finished speaking yet. I really appreciate your intentions, but I can't accept this money. I transferred the transfer to him. In an instant he replied, "Hey, why are you polite, you kid? We are all a family. My aunt said she bought it for you, just for you. He collected it and returned it for you in 24 hours. What he said was the same as it was. But less than half an hour. My phone reminds me that the transfer has been collected. Hey, your uncle is really too much. He doesn't know the consequences. As soon as the money arrives, he thought you transferred the money to me and expressed his feelings. He ordered collect for me, which made me so angry. I'm arguing with him. Don't argue with uncle. The aunt and his wife are united. If the uncle accepts it, it means you accept it, and I'm relieved." Maybe he noticed my sarcasm, or maybe he was extremely guilty and immediately turned over another 10,000. "Baby, please accept it quickly. Auntie is sincere to you." I raised my eyebrows. I was right, I was thin-skinned. Are you embarrassed to stop? Then he might be disappointed. I thought about it and replied with a smile. "Auntie, I won't talk to you anymore. I'll go take a shower first." Then he deliberately sent Lu Dai a short video of the ambiguous and confusing bathroom environment. Of course, I didn't get all in the mirror, just looked out of the bathroom mirror with my wet hair. "Lu Dian, my aunt and I explained it clearly, and the money has been returned. I'm going to take a shower." Lu Dai sent an okay gesture and a smirk. I will not reply again. Half an hour later, I clicked call you and sent a bunch of garbled and confused expressions. Then he put his phone outside to charge it with peace of mind. Real. Have a shower in the magnificent bathroom. When Lu Dai came to my house to open the door, I haven't finished washing yet. He knew my password, so he entered it directly. I heard the sound and came out of the bathroom with my hair wrapped around me. How to say it? Everything is more perfect than what I designed. For example, in my design, I was going to take a shower, then start the video. He pretended to be panicked and asked Lu Dian. My cat accidentally clicked check. What should I do? After returning it, will the aunt think I'm making excuses? She knew my cat liked to sneak into my phone while I was away, and it was entirely possible. I didn't expect him to come. Not only here, it also makes the time point so exquisitely. When he came in, I haven't come out yet. But the wonder is when he comes in. I just saw the cat's paws pressing randomly on my phone. Then he called Lu's mother's video call. So half of the ignorant and cute cat face and Lu Mu's face that endured anger and dissatisfied were hung on the screen. That scene was quite laughable. But the only remaining reason made me secretly pinch my fingers and force me to smile back. I exclaimed with the greatest eye skills in my life. "Big treasure. What are you doing?" Lu's mother smiled and pulled the corners of her lips without laughing. The voice is very stiff. "Baby. I thought you had something to do with me. Since it's okay, then just hang up." He didn't wait for me to respond to him as he said that. Just cut off the video. I looked at Aunt Lu Dian in a little confused. And wasn't you angry? Why do you feel that he is talking weird? Then I followed Lu Dai's site. "See my mobile page." Suddenly exclaimed. "Oh my god. Smelling treasure. What did this do? It's over. It's over. Auntie must have misunderstood me. What to do about this? Fine. It's just a misunderstanding. Just turn back. Simple and optimistic." I explained to him. "Oops. No. You don't know that my aunt won't accept it. Last time, it was your dad who was mistaken. The aunt had a good fight with her uncle about this. If I send it again, cause them to argue again. Isn't that a serious sin?" Lu Dian got stuck. It looks like it is hard to speak. It's too embarrassing to turn back. I think I'd better return it in another form. Oh well. Just watch it and do it yourself. Lu Dian hasn't finished speaking yet. His cell phone rang wildly. He glanced at the call number. A chaotic dark tone. Who is it? Why not answer? I'll look at it. He hid behind. Fine. The company's customer probably has a problem with the plan. I'll leave first. Let's talk about it later. He hurried out. I could vaguely hear him seemingly arguing with the other party. Said it. Not so. Not so. Mom. Can you not always think that people are so bad? Because the distance behind is too far. I really can't hear it clearly. I don't dare to go out with me. So I had to give up. But based on my years of writing experience in writing bloody family matters, I could almost imagine what kind of shrew Lou's mother would be. I suddenly got on the show. I pinched my waist and scolded this little bitch on purpose. What a cat. I don't believe that cat paws can receive red envelopes. How could it be so coincidental? When you enter the door, I just saw the cat in front of the video. Not artificially let go. Are you stupid? Do you believe his lies? I lowered my voice gently and started playing Lou Dima again. Things are really not what you think, they are all misunderstandings. I'll give it back to you after I say it. Just wait patiently. Is it okay? Besides, you didn't really give him flowers. Why did you give him an intimate payment? I'll use it for him. Is he shameless? I'm not a fuck, and I didn't give birth to him. Why did he ask me to spend money on him? I'll change my position. Raise myself, but I'll spend it. I'll use it. What's going on? Not cat pointed. Just me ordered, how about it? Don't your son believe you? Very unlucky. Alas, let you offend someone who wrote the article. I can't kill you. I'm getting more and more aggravated. Can't help but be happy. Ha 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 ha. Have enough fun? I just remembered to open the door and take a look. Fortunately, Lou Dai did not turn back again. Otherwise, it would be a straight finale. The editor sent me feedback. This starts very good. Keep writing. I think there is a big trend. I took my cat up and took a deep breath. You made great contributions today. Wait for your mother to buy you cat strips in cans. Then he changed his clothes happily and went out. I was purchasing in the supermarket and Lou Dai called again. Shan Shan. What are you going to buy for my mom? Do you want me to accompany you? Okay. I answered too naturally. He was relieved from the bottom of his heart. He is originally simple and he is particularly prone to clichés when he is relaxed. So I got into trouble soon. It turns out that he was scolded by his mother. First, he said that he was blind and confused. I found a gold-worshipping girl like me. He said I played with her in my palms. Not a fuel-efficient lamp. His eyes were full of distress and confusion. Sometimes I really don't understand my mom. In fact, he is so generous. Look, I didn't see you. I'm willing to buy you such expensive gold bracelets. But now this is actually a misunderstanding. She just refused to give up. I'll determine that you're not good at character. Sometimes she is serious and sarcastic. I really can't stand it. But Mom, Shan Shan. You believe me. Actually, my mom is really a very good person. Wait. You guys have resolved the misunderstanding. He will definitely like you very much. So don't you have a bad impression of him? His eyes are very sincere. It makes me feel a little reluctant. But thinking of my perfume of more than 8,000. Thinking of the bracelet with gold and silver. I stopped my unbearable heart in time. I decided to stop if I voted. Just break up with him, it will be better to do it again. Although others are good. But there is such a self-righteous and twisted mother. If I still insist on being with him, then what I'm not in my mind. It is the Yangtze River and the Yellow River. It's a vast ocean. I told Lu Dian. I want to buy a gold bracelet for Lu's mother. But gold is very expensive now. My mother's hands are thick. It's estimated to be more than 30,000. My mom bought it for you. It was cheap then. He also said it cost 20,000 yuan. Or maybe changed to another one. It's okay, it doesn't matter if it's more expensive. As long as my aunt likes it. Didn't she say that my aunt once cried when she saw the gold bracelet I bought for me? He wants it so much. But I don't want to buy it. Instead, I spent the money on me. This intention is really too precious. I must thank him. I feel a little disgusted by this. Lu Dai was also a little stunned. I was reflecting on whether I had acted before. He suddenly hugged me excitedly. Shan Shan. You're really awesome. Don't worry. After this incident, my mom will definitely like you. Lu's mother heard that we prepared gifts for her in the golden shop, and she came very quickly. Unlike the angry and cold expression she had before, she was full of glamour and refreshed at this time. Before the person is approaching, I was in a hurry to come over and shake my hand. How can my treasure make you spend money? What can I do with an old woman? Just take it. He smiled and his face was full of wrinkles. looking inexplicably kind. And a few days ago, the sarcastic face I saw in the park. It's completely different. While I was deeply impressed by his face-changing skills. So profound. On the one hand, I'm afraid. If I hadn't seen the truth by chance, I was afraid that I would really think that this mother-in-law was so generous and virtuous, so I couldn't wait to step into this broken pit. He said kindly. I don't know anything when I eat the bracelet. Specially choose heavy and large solid bracelets. It seems like several times hanging on your wrist. Let's go back and ask which one of us looks good. Lu Ti looked at me worriedly. Mom? Are these numbers too big? You can easily get lost with empty things. Let the clerk change a suitable number. Lu's mother gave him a blank look. What do you know? Bracelets need to be big to appear noble. I don't wear it every day. Where to go? It also falls at home if it falls. But this is almost 50,000. Lu Ti frowned tightly. It seems that his mother is too much. I'm sorry to say it too straightforward. You ungrateful wolf. Your wife hasn't said she feels sorry yet. You are reluctant to let it go? I really support you in vain. No wonder I forgot my mother after marrying my wife. I haven't married yet. I started to feel sorry for my wife's money. Lu's mother scolded Lu Ti. But his eyes glanced at me. It's clear that I'm waiting for my opinion. I'm very good at it. Nodding with a smile. Auntie is right. Lu Dia. Don't worry. Give gifts to my aunt. Of course she needs to be satisfied. Don't listen to him, aunt, just buy it. Lu's mother was about to lose sight of her eyes at this moment. But he still did not forget to establish a character. You are young. How can I know how to buy gold? You will never lose money, this is an investment. You are looking at it now to buy it for me and wear it on my hands. Actually, I only have one child, Lu Dian. Sooner or later, will it be yours? When I was a freshman. You guys have a good reputation. In the end, the gold fell into your hands. There is no more cost-effective deal in the world. After all, I planned for you in a far-reaching way. You young people have loose fingers and don't know how to save money to live. I'm buying these things for you. Good guy. This is not only taking advantage. The moral commanding heights were all on the way. Sure enough, the only dissatisfaction in Lu Tiao's eyes. It also turned into admiration and guilt. And I am repeating his words in my mind. Try to recite the original text until the second chapter of the evening. Fresh ingredients need to be written in original flavor to look good. After I do the processing, retelling may not have such good results. After all, I'm not a weird guy. It's really hard to imagine a weird brain circuit. Finally met one. I wish I could pull the wool. Pull him into a bald sheep. When I was distracted, bald sheep. No, Lu's mother set up a gold necklace again. Sean. Since we want to invest. To save money. Why not buy more at home and store them? I see this posture. Gold prices are still rising. It seems to be heart to heart. She can hold my hand. Say gentle. Lu Ti seems to think something is wrong. But not good at refuting. He had no choice but to look at me helplessly. I still nodded with a smile. Okay. Auntie listens to you. While Lu Mu's eyes were full of light. The look of looking at me is more like looking at a fool. I guess he must be thinking now. Lu Diao, this stupid boy. It's really a fool and a foolish blessing. I could actually find someone who was stupider than him. The two of them went together. Stupid and rich. It's simply a joy in the world. During my overthinking time, her face was filled with gold jewelry. Bracelets, necklaces, earrings, pendants, etc. 3 or 4 lines were arranged. The clerk felt like he had met a big fat sheep. They all surround them. Passionate sales, everyone wants to get a share of the pie. By the end, Lu's mother almost chose everything she could carry on her body. Even hinges are available. The clerk pressed the calculator for a long time. The total price is more than 300,000. Lu's mother looked at me with some guilt. Sean. I've heard you were from a wealthy family. You won't think it's too much, right? It's all your fault that you recommend so many good-looking ones to me. I didn't realize it was too much. Lu Diao's face was also a little ugly. He quietly pulled me. Sean. Or forget it. Sometimes my mom doesn't know what's wrong. It's just that unregulated. What? Have you got the bracelet? How can that be? They performed for so long. My highlight is going to play. How could I pinch it like this? I ignored him. Instead, he said to Lu's mother in a whisper. Aunt. You and Lu Diao are waiting for me here. I'll check out. Oh. What responded to me was the joyful voice of high pitch. Smile, laugh, you won't be able to laugh in a while. A concern. Follow me immediately, Shanshan, don't buy so many, right? It is also easy to attract thieves when putting them at home. Lu's mother was afraid of his bad things. He quickly pulled him back. Shut up. Sit. After a while, I started arguing with the cashier. Lu's mother and Lu Ti came to hear the sound. What's wrong? What's wrong? Baby. Lu's mother asked hypocritically. This wiped the corners of your eyes, and there was no gratitude at all. Auntie, you don't get enough money. I'm afraid that your expectations will fail. I'm particularly afraid that you will be disappointed in me. So I wanted to use the original gold to pay it. They actually said that my gold was fake. It's really bullying. I am willing to buy 300,000 gold. Can I wear fake gold on me? I guided her to question the bracelet she gave her. She really didn't think about the bracelet she gave me. Hesitated. Is this a misunderstanding? Please help me test it again. We won't use fake ones to deceive you. The clerk was also very aggrieved. But what this lady gave is indeed not gold, right? We also found that it was only worth dozens of gold. Sorry, this is really not deductible. You'd better pay directly. A golden light flashed in Lu's eyes. How much difference? I'll withdraw one. We pay for the others. But how could I allow her to do this? I'm clamoring. Impossible. That's true. How could it be true? You melted my gold and exchanged it for me. I won't let it go so easily. I want to call the police, miss. Our store is full of surveillance. How could we change it? If you want to call the police, then you can report it. We have a clear conscience. My mother looked at me and then at the clerk, questioning, can you be a joint show? Shanshan, just say you sincerely give me a gift. You admit it. Look at your child, the people around you have long been coming up to talk because of the commotion. What's going on? At this time, a girl bought gold for her future mother-in-law. The total price of the large house that was traded within the market was more than 300,000 yuan. She took a fake gold to replace it before checking out, so it was no longer a big deal. No, right? I am willing to buy 300,000 yuan of gold, but can I still use fake gold to make trouble? Why do you think it's weird? Not that I don't want to buy it for me sincerely. Alas, young people nowadays are really nothing to say. Lu's mother pretended to wipe the corners of her eyes, looking through me. I gave you an intimate payment, just treating you as a biological child. Even if you spent 10,000 yuan at night, I didn't say anything, right? You feel guilty and good at it. You can't use this method to deceive me if you look ugly. It doesn't matter if I don't buy it. Isn't the time of the staff? I've been working around us for a while, and you end up fooling around you. One round, you're really too much. The onlookers were even more explosive. What? You can spend other people's money before you get married, and you can spend 10,000 yuan at a time? This is a gold-worshipping woman. No wonder she can do such a thing. The crowd pointed at me, and I kept crying. Auntie, that's not the case. You can't wrongly accuse me like this. Yes, Mom should just misunderstand, right? Don't say that, it's too harsh. Lu's father spoke for me, but Lu's mother pointed at her nose and scolded me. I've long said that she was too scheming and you can't control it, so you don't believe in misunderstandings? How could there be so many misunderstandings? All the misunderstandings happened to her. I was careless. I used my 10,000 yuan and accidentally ordered the payment. Ask the people here, believe it or not, one cannot see what he said, it depends on what he did. If he really bought me gold jewelry, how could he bring a fake one over? Okay, even if he didn't know about it before, now I've said that I'll buy one first, and then find out the truth about the others. Why did he refuse? Isn't it because I don't want to buy it at all? He is playing tricks on us. Silly son, aunt, you really misunderstood me. I cried and sobbed, and explained with my trembling mouth. The reason why I am so angry and so unyielding is because the fake gold they said was the gold bracelet you gave me. The whole audience was silent and they looked at Lu's mother. Although they didn't understand the causes and consequences, my words alone were enough to explode, and even the clerk was confused. Lu's mother was pale and a little panicked, But she pretended to be calm. How is this possible? My one is true. I spent more than 20,000 yuan to buy it. Yes, Aunt, how could you lie to me with fake ones? That's why I'm not convinced. I must test it. It's okay, don't worry. Aunties in their shops have surveillance monitors, so we'll call the police now. Lu's mother had a little weak legs, so I held her in time and comforted her gently. As soon as I met my eyes, I shook guiltily. Wait, Shanshan should not call the police first. What may be misunderstandings? But the Jindian clerk was annoyed by us all morning and morning, not to mention that he could not get anything, and he was slandered by me and Lu's mother. The manager picked up his mobile phone very domineeringly. I came to hug Lu's mother, rushed over and snatched it. Wait. I'm a little confused. You can take the bracelet first, and I'll see what's going on. When the bracelet was taken out, although it was a little blown, it could still be seen that it was indeed the bracelet he gave me. I looked at him with a disappointed face and felt heartbroken. Mom, how could you do such a thing? It's not me, it's not me. I've also been cheated. I don't know that he is fake gold, but I only know that the scammer who killed me took me more than 200. He realized that he had missed his words. He hurriedly covered his mouth tightly. No, I mean I was cheated. I don't know he is fake. But Noor no longer believed him. He was full of anger and wanted to go out, but was tightly held by Lu's mother. Son, I know what's going on. My mother, I'm plotted against. He must have discovered that the bracelet was fake, so he deliberately came to the gold shop to perform this. Really, he is too sensible and too bad. He deliberately sowed the relationship between us mother and son, and he didn't plan to buy anything for me from beginning to end. Don't forget, he even cheated me 10,000. He is a gold worship girl, really. Son, okay, don't be disappointed with your mother for such a woman. In the final analysis, it was my mother who was deceived. Noor closed her eyes. You took the initiative to open the intimate payment, and the 10,000 yuan quota is also your own choice. You are reluctant to leave it, you can do nothing, and no one lies with you. It's not like this, it's not like this. Lu's mother cried, I'll give him a credit limit to please him, isn't it for you? I hope your relationship goes well, so I did this. And. His eyes kept turning, as if he was trying to think about how to turn the tables quickly. Even if I lied to him, he would have lied to me first. That perfume cannot be more than 8,000, he lied first, I just fought back just now. That's it. Mom. No. I couldn't bear it anymore and shouted at him. I bought that perfume with him, and I watched him pay in person. Then. Lu's mother's panicked voice changed. He may be fake. He may have discussed with the store in advance and deliberately acted for you. Taidu, mother won't you are lying to you, you can't rather believe an outsider than a mother. Originally, Shanshan bought her mother's perfume, but I said that you were going to have a birthday. He only bought 2 bottles at the moment. I'll give you a product. Tell me how he would make a fake in this situation. Can he calculate and know I will mention your birthday? Mom, you're too much. How can you do this? Even if I'm wrong, isn't this bitch wrong? He clearly just took revenge on me. When he saw us, he had no intention of buying me any jewelry. This wasted everyone's time and played a clerk all over the place. I'm afraid it would be even more excessive than me. The more Lu's mother talked, the more confident he became, especially when he saw someone secretly recording videos with his mobile phone, he became even more proud. No matter how bad I am a little petty and ruined the person. I don't know if the one I bought was fake, I thought it was gold and silver. I am also doing his own good. I am afraid that he will be taken out and robbed, which will be a safety hazard. Besides, I also deliberately tried his character. If he could pass my test, I would buy it for him, really. Besides, you see, such people are willing to let the clerk work in vain for their own selfish interests. A temptation of kindness and self-inducing. I didn't let him finish it, but I interrupted with a smile. He said, who said I want the clerk to work in vain? The shop assistants around him, including the shop manager, had their eyes lit up when they heard this and they approached the lady carefully. What you mean is that I only have 280,000 yuan on it. You can help me remove one, and then I want the others? But I swept over Lu's mother who was already stunned and smiled. I'll change all of them to my size, I'll choose them again. Auntie, I really wanted to buy it for you, but if you don't do it yourself, I will keep it myself. Lu's mother wanted to curse again, but Lu Dai could no longer afford to lose this person and pulled him out. I stammered my head, are they leaving now? Wouldn't you help me pick it? That night, because I was so arrogant that I was on the hot search, Lu's mother became a celebrity, and many big internet celebrities squatted at his doorstep, secretly photographing him, mocking him, and gaining traffic. At first he wanted to turn the tables with his 3-inch tongue and PUA means, but now netizens are anti-PUA experts. The more he says, the more he reveals, and he becomes a rat crossing the street. Scream and beat. Many people analyzed his PUA quotes, made funny videos to spread them online, and gave him a kind name called Lu Shui. Lu Dai and I broke up. Did you do it on purpose when the gold shop comes out? I honestly answered, he is. Why don't you tell me directly, but use this method? He pursed his lips in pain, and accused him in his tone, if I told you directly, would you believe it? You know that your mother didn't really give me a close affair, but you tried to brainwash him and thought he was your attempt to brainwash him, making me believe that he was sincere to me, right? From then on, I knew we couldn't be together. You can be sober now because you witnessed your mother's greed and quibbling in the gold shop, because you saw my counterattack and my discretion. If there are no such things, many things are too subjective. You can make a correct judgment based on what I said or your mother said? He closed his eyes and said, even if I don't mention breaking up, you will mention it, right? If I am with you, every time I get along with your mother, I need to record, video, and keep evidence all the time. I may fall into war at any time and stay alert at all times. If you are me, would you be willing? If you love me enough, at least you should give me the opportunity to change. Believe me, even if you can't do it at first, you will always do it. So if you use this method to cut off our relationship at once, it is just that you don't love enough. I was a little dissatisfied. Do you have this kind of person? It's hard to find a girl you love enough. No matter what, I wish you all the best. I returned the 2,000 yuan to her. My perfume was only 8,000 yuan, but I spent 10,000 yuan on your mother tonight. This is the difference. He smiled bitterly. Do you think I'll care about this? It's not that I think your mother will care, and she may be so concerned that she can't sleep and scold me overnight. I was afraid that he would cause trouble for me, so it would be better to stay away from me, as I didn't suffer any loss anyway. I secretly said in my heart that the novel I made with Lu's mother was a big hit editor, and was urging me to be happy as soon as possible, but Lu Dao didn't accept it. Don't worry, my mother hates you so much now. In his mind, 2,000 yuan cannot solve the problem. If you give it, it will be useless. It would be better to keep it yourself and act as a mental loss. I thought about it and it was true that in his heart, 300,000 is not enough to fill it. After all, the reason why he pretended so generous before was because he knew that my family's conditions were pretty good. My parents bought more than 10 properties under my name. I am an only daughter. In his mind, I guess all of these were his. There is something in the bag. Now that the cooked duck has flew, she doesn't hate it, I'm wondering. I suddenly felt a little alert. I didn't tell him my address and password, did you? Lu Diao smiled bitterly. Don't worry, I won't let him harass you anymore. I was half believing and half doubted. Why did you suddenly become so awake? It's not like you. Even if my wife is gone, can you continue to be confused? If you don't believe me, I'll live in another place. Anyway, you have so many real estate. Yes, I don't know, you have changed the password long ago, right? He said it was too honest, and I was a little embarrassed. Alas, you are actually quite good. He laughed at himself. There is no need to send a good person card at this time, right? It's not the first time we meet. He left. Lu Dai broke up quickly and never disturbed me again. But after my parents learned about this, they still did not allow me to live in their original place no matter what. They forced me to move into the villa area in the city, where the environment was quiet and the guards were complete, making it difficult for non-owners to get close to. I couldn't resist them, so I had to agree. Lu's mother called me a lot, but I didn't answer. I deleted his WeChat and he kept adding me with a small trumpet. I heard that he was very dissatisfied with Lu Dian's voluntary breakup. He felt that he had suffered a great injury. Even if you want to break up, you should have to compensate before leaving. At least 5 houses are needed to start. Unwilling to be suppressed by him, he tried every means to contact me. His verification information is diverse. Everyone has conflicts between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. This can all be solved. Besides, we are just misunderstandings. Auntie really doesn't know that the bottle of perfume is so valuable. If I had known it, I wouldn't have bought you fake gold because of anger. Even if the aunt is wrong, okay? You and Lu Qi have such a good relationship, don't talk about breaking up easily. She really likes you. I cry at home every day and can't even eat. I feel uncomfortable when I look at it. But I was afraid that Lu Ming would hear that she was trying to save her, so I arranged a blind date for Lu Di. I also chose my family to do business, and those who are particularly rich said, be sure to suppress me. The reason I know so much is because I also pushed it. I raised a lot of people for her, hoping that she would distract her energy from me sooner. Anyway, she couldn't force Lou to reconcile. Whoever gets the marriage certificate can't enter the bridal chamber for him. So I asked the marriage agency to swear the woman's conditions to be amazing. As expected, she paid less and less attention to me. I heard the news about Lou T again 1 year later. The channel for obtaining news is still an old place. Speaking of which, I was too cautious at the beginning. In order to avoid being entangled by Lou's mother, I haven't been to the park to pick materials for a long time. Unexpectedly, after a year, I heard big news when I first went there. It turned out that Lou's mother had arranged so many blind dates, but Lou D was not very cooperative. But under the supervision of Lou's mother, I also went there occasionally. 3 months ago, Lou's mother fell in love with a girl, and her family was very rich. The conditions are far better than me. It is said that real estate is spread throughout first-tier cities such as Kyoto and Shanghai. But after meeting, Lou's mother forced Lou to settle the marriage certificate. The woman also cooperated abnormally. Lou Ji realized that something was wrong, so he secretly investigated and found out that the reason why the woman was so anxious was because she was pregnant and was eager to find the takeover. And the woman's family situation is also made up. In fact, both parents are farming and have no money. The marriage naturally failed. Lou's mother once again had a dream of becoming empty, and she couldn't accept it very much, and she became a little mentally abnormal. Sometimes you are sober and sometimes you are confused. When I woke up, I gritted my teeth and scolded me, I am the most not a thing, I'm the one who harmed him. I was confused and thought Lou Diao had married me, and thought I would give him money every day to please him in all kinds of ways, so as to save him from all kinds of torture, and be proud. I don't know when it started, but he started to strode Lou Di's words and asked him in disguise, where would I live? Lou T knew that Lou's mother was mostly confused, so he didn't think much about it, but just dealing with Lou's mother. Based on his own speculation, he guessed a place and responded casually. What he thought was that Lou's mother wouldn't be able to meet me anyway, so she wouldn't have any chance of not squatting me. She could pass the time for him so that she could not spend all day at home thinking about it, so she didn't care much about it. Unexpectedly, Lou's mother was mentally ill, and she had a good plan for planning things. He first called an uninformed locksmith and removed the door lock of my house, he thought. Then the whole house was smashed, and the ones that could be moved, and the ones that could be thrown away, and the ones that were sent to others were destroyed. Later, the Real owner came back from get off work and caught him right away and called the police. Before he was pulled out, he cursed and said, "This is my daughter-in-law's house, what's wrong with me demolishing the house? No one can care about my daughter-in-law's house if I sell it, that is my son's, that is mine." He suddenly spoke in a mess, his logic suddenly became clear, which made the police confused. Later, after visiting the neighbors, I realized that he had mental problems. According to convention, such people cannot ignore them. If they go through the process and do psychological tests, they will confirm that they are mentally ill, so they will be put back and given to the guardian for good care. Unexpectedly, Lou's father insisted that Lou's mother had no problem with her mental state. He had always pretended to torture the two of them on purpose. Some people say that Lou's mother is really mentally ill, but Lou's father had been fed up with him causing trouble everywhere, but he was honest and dared not resist. After finally meeting him for a big deal, he did the first unethical thing in his life, just leaving. Because Lou's mother exuded the chi and evil fire in her heart because of the smelting family, she was spitting out a mouthful of phlegm and blood by Lou's father's evidence. Only then did she feel so clear. Some people also say that Lou's mother was pretending, but she just couldn't pretend in the face of psychological tests. I don't know the truth, but I only know that the test results prove that Lou's mother is not sick. In the end, he was sentenced to 10 years for multiple crimes such as robbery and major property damage. Public opinion was full of heated, and Lou's father and Lou T could not stay there. I heard that they sold their old houses and changed to a city to live. The whole text is over.